It's noon here. Um, but I wanted to kind of do a live art show because I haven't done one in a while. And I have an abundance of art prints that I thought I would kind of highlight today. Um, so if you're interested in purchasing anything that you see, that link is paintporium.com/print show, PRINTSHOW. So the first thing on there, and this is the first time that I've really done anything like this, but I added sticker packs to my art print show. And so each of my sticker packs have 4 stickers, all designed from my various art pieces. So there's 4 die cut stickers in there. And I realized that a lot of my followers may not be in Arizona, so the Arizona sticker may not be for you. So if you decide you want a sticker pack, let me know and I can swap out that Arizona sticker for something else if you're interested in that. So this is number 1 on my print show. So all right, I'm just going to dive right in. And that first 3 pieces that I've got for you today are basically the newest prints that I have in. So these have not even been at any of my live events that I've done. So bear with me here. So this first one is my pop controller piece. I'm trying to not make my light on there. But each of my prints here are 8x10 prints that I have matted so that they will fit an 11x14 inch frame, which is kind of a standard frame size. So they all have kind of the white mat and the backing board. So in theory, you don't really need to frame them. If you want to just get a display easel or something like that, that would work too. But this print is basically kind of a compilation of a bunch of smaller paintings that I did for a lot of like the retro video game controllers. So I think I've got almost all of the older controllers in here. I think the newest one, like I've got the Nintendo Switch here. I've got the Google Stadia, which I think they might be getting rid of. But so yeah, so I've got this one. And this is the horizontal version of it. So this is number 2. But I also rearranged it so that I've got a vertical version as well. So depending on how you want to hang it, you can kind of choose which orientation you like better. It's just the same thing. It's just rearranged a little differently. Same deal, 8x10, matted, and each one is also signed. So I've got my signature on there for you too. So this one is number 3, if you like the vertical orientation a little bit better. And then the last one of my newer pieces is my Game On print. So this one, I basically have a bunch of these retro controllers and I set up kind of a still life scene and I painted it. So most of it is in grayscale. So it's black and white with little bits of color in there for the buttons just to kind of highlight certain things. But most of it is black and white. So this one is number 4. Same thing. It's an 8x10. It's been signed in the corner here. So it's ready to hang. Fits an 8 or not an 8x10. It fits in an 11x14 frame. But it's an 8x10 print inside here. All right, so moving on, I've got a section about basically my best selling prints at art shows that I've had. So I don't have as many of these in stock. So if you see anything that you like, make sure you grab it before they're gone. So this first one is my Heart of Fire. So this one was a fluid art piece, and I really liked kind of this area of the piece, and I wanted to add something to it. So that's why I kind of embellished it with I guess a heart bubble is what I envisioned it to be. But it's pink and red, and I felt like it fit heart theme very well. So again, same deal. It's an 8x10 print, matted. I did sign it. This one is kind of hard to see because I signed it in black, but that signature's down there. Let's see, 8x10. It fits a standard 11x14 frame. All right, my next one is one of my favorites, and I normally always sell out of these when I go to events. So I actually, last time I placed a print order, I ordered a bunch. So I think I've got 11 of these in stock, but they're my favorite. This one was a fluid art piece, and I ended up embellishing it because I was convinced that I saw this skull in here, and my husband didn't believe me. So I had to prove to him that it was there. So I later embellished it by adding kind of the jawline and the line for the profile as well. Of course, now that I'm looking at it, anybody else see like a goldfish right here kind of swimming out behind the neck? So this one's number 6. It's my abstract fluid skull piece. My next bestseller is my Power of the Sky. So this one is kind of dark, and I signed it with a gold marker here. So this one's number 5. No, it's not number 5. It's number 7. I lied. Number 7. So this one has kind of the power line right there, and kind of that night sky. It's one of the, I guess, more popular pieces of mine, which I don't want to say I find surprising because I'm a big fan of the night sky, but all my pieces, I would never have guessed that this one would be a really popular piece. So that one was number 5. All right, next one is another kind of dark one, another night sky, right? So this one is Holding the Moon, and this one is number 8. Again, it's an 8x10 print, matted. I did sign it again with that gold marker, so you can see the signature. It's matted to fit an 11x14 standard size frame. So let me kind of zoom in a little bit so you can kind of see it a little bit better. I have all of my prints kind of in these protective bags just to make sure that I can point to things and touch things without leaving a bunch of fingerprints everywhere. So number 8 is my Holding the Moon. All right, so I have the next 2. I only have 1 copy of each of these. So this, I only have 1 copy. This is the last one that I have of this one. This one is my Geometric Mosaic Starburst. So this one, I tend to save a lot of my paint drippings when I do my acrylic pouring. And once it's dry, I tend to save those paint skins, and I use them later in different projects. And so this was one of those. I cut them up into various diamond shapes and sizes and created kind of this geometric star. So each piece of here is a different paint skin. And so I added those onto a black canvas and sealed it. So yeah, this one, Mosaic Starburst. It's number 9. This is the last copy that I have. All right, my next one, again, this one is the last copy. This one is my abstract desert art piece. So this one, again, it's an 8x10 print, matted to fit a standard 11x14 frame. So this one I ended up doing kind of as an experiment. I wanted to see if I could create something a little bit more abstract that was still, I don't know, Arizona. So I've got some mountains back here. I've got some cacti in there as well, and all kinds of fun little details in there. So again, last copy right here. It's my abstract desert landscape number 10. All right, the next few pieces that I have are part of, I guess, a series that I've been calling my embedded series. It's essentially a series that I created to kind of explore how to make a painting more three-dimensional. So most of this section is actually created by using real objects that I glued to or incorporated into the canvas in some way. So like this first one here, this one is called The Race, and it is number 11 on my print show page. So I actually added a couple of my son's Matchbox cars in this one, and then added kind of the trail of smoke, exhaust, fire, whatever you want to say here, to come out from the back of the cars. So again, this one's an 8x10 print. It's been matted and signed down there in the corner to fit a standard 11x14 inch frame. So my next one, I've called it Power of Words, just because I feel like, as a writer, you have a lot of power in what you say. And so that's kind of what I was trying to incorporate here. So I have a pencil that I had glued onto the canvas, and I kind of had this spray of paint kind of coming out. This one I also signed down here in the corner. So it's that standard 11x14 inch frame. All right, my next one, number 13, is my troll hair. I used to love troll dolls when I was younger. I used to collect them, and I wanted all of the crazy hair. So I kind of tried to, bring that into my art somehow. So I have these little troll dolls that I ended up kind of gluing down, and I basically used some fluid paint rather, to kind of blow out to kind of make it look like the troll's hair, to kind of create that rainbow pattern. All right, next, number 14 is my beach waves. And for this one, I wanted to kind of experiment with creating landscapes with fluid art techniques, which it's a lot harder than you would think. Simple ones are rather challenging to make it look more realistic. So for this one, I felt like it needed something because I've got the sky, I've got the water, and then I have the beach, and then some of the waves here. But I felt like it was still kind of bare, so I added some seashells to that painting. So the seashells were my kind of addition to kind of make it more three-dimensional. And the original of this one gets a lot of attention at art fairs. All right, so again, number 14, part of my embedded series. And the next one that I have is my Bright and Morbid. If you've seen the original of this one, you'll know that it's a 12 by 24, so it's really long. So I did have to kind of adjust this print a little bit. So what I ended up doing was I kind of had it running down the center, and then I added some more black space to the sides. So that way you get the full effect of, all of the color running down. I found that when I just cropped it up, it didn't have, I don't know, I didn't like it as much. But this skull up here, I ended up handcrafting that out of not modeling paste, air drying clay. And it was really hard to make a skull look realistic by hand when you are not much of a sculptor. So that was really hard. And then I essentially, once I had those pieces, because I had the jawline separate, I glued the jaw to my canvas here, and then I poured over it because I wanted to make the paint look like it was coming out of the mouth. So if we kind of zoom in a little bit, you could kind of see that there's some color in the mouth. And then it comes out over the edge of the jaw. And then I added the top part of the skull after everything had dried, because I didn't want there to be color on the top part. So again, this one is my Bright and Morbid. And I apologize for my doorbell. So I'm going to pause my stream for just a minute, and I will be right back. Move my camera here. I knew it. I'll wait till you head upstairs.